Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Principles with Reverend Dr. Mpok. Sorry I've been away for too long. I'm glad to be back. So let's talk about repaying good with evil. Let's talk about the story of King Joash. King Joash was 7 years old when he became king of Judah. Now, Judah was the part of Israel that remained under the leadership of King David's descendants. When Israel broke into two, the nation broke into two when there was this civil war, and Judah remained subject to King David, and Israel had different kings, so subject to King David's descendants. Now, Joash's grandmother tried to, who was a pagan, the daughter of a pagan worshipper, tried to destroy the dynasty of David when her son died and killed off all his children except Joash the lastborn, who was whisked away by his sister um, and hidden, sorry, by his auntie, his late father's sister, and hidden in the temple until he was 7 years old. Then um, Queen Athaliah, who was his grandmother, who had killed off the royal family and was ruling Judah, was finally killed, and he was installed as the king. So while he was in hiding, he was being taken care of by Jehoiada, who was the husband of his aunt and who was a priest in the temple. So Jehoiada took care of him and organized for his installation as king and for the assassination of Athaliah, the queen mother who had killed off the rest of the royal family. And as a young 7-year-old king, he took advice from the priest Jehoiada. And through the advice of the priest Jehoiada, he restored the temple and helped to turn the people's hearts back to God. And that was a wonderful thing. And God blessed the nation of Judah under his rulership. Now, Jehoiada himself, the priest, lived till about 130 years of age. God blessed him with a long life for all the work that he did. He even found two wives for the king. He took care of the king like a real parent. And when he died, he was buried with the other kings of Judah because of the contribution that he had brought. Now, Joash needed advisors, and after the death of Jehoiada, the advisors that he had advised him wrongly and turned his heart away. His heart was turned away from God, and he led the people astray into pagan worship. And this was really, really bad. The people turned their hearts away from God and went back to pagan worship. And the son of the late priest was called Zechariah, and he stood up and prophesied to the king and said, "What you're doing is wrong. The Lord God is against what you're doing, turning the people's hearts away from him." And the king got upset and asked that Zechariah be executed. Let's not forget, this is the son of the man who took care of him, who protected him from his grandmother, who was killing off the descendants of King David. And now he turned around and asked that he should be killed. He was killed, but as Zechariah was dying, he cried out to God and said, "God, remember me and avenge this evil. Remember what this man has done against Jehoiada the priest, against my family, my father's family." And God definitely heard. What Joash was doing, what King Joash was doing, was repaying good with evil. And so later on, he went into a battle with his enemy, against some enemies, and was wounded. And he came to rest, and two of his advisors came and killed him in his bed. And we're told that they killed him because of what he did to Zechariah the priest, the son of Jehoiada, who had taken care of him. So vengeance was meted out. So in this story, we learn we should be careful not to repay good with evil. The Bible tells us in Proverbs that if a person repays good with evil, evil will not depart from their house. So let's be careful the way we treat others, especially those who have been good to us. Let's have a blessed day. May the Lord grant us the grace and the wisdom to know how to repay good to those who have been good to us, and to be gracious even as Christians, to still be good even to those who haven't necessarily been good to us, because Jesus taught us to love even our enemies. May the Lord grant us wisdom in doing this, grace, and may we be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.